Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala ashraful anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Wa ba'd. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, brothers, we have seen the last lecture about the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and before that we have seen about the status of Arabia before the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now see the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As we have just discussed, that he was born on the 9th and 12th of the Rabiul Awwal, and when he was born, his uncle, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib kept his name as Muhammad. That was very uncommon name in the entire Arabia, and we are also seeing that how the Bedouin who used to come to the Makkah to take the children back to Medina for serving them, for nourishing them, for making the language proper, and all other stuff which were very important as a custom of the Makkah. So the Halima bint Abi Zubayb took the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the barakah she observed in his presence in his home, and how importantly that his she camel, she ass, and everything became very energetic and became the milk giver, and all those things, the barakah in the entire family. And she also requested his mother Amina to extend the custody for 2 more years, and then on the request the Amina extended the custody for 2 more years. And when he was 4 or 5, the Gabriel came from the heaven, and he took out his heart and washed it with the Zamzam, and took out one blood clot that said it is for the Satan. And now the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was again then she Halima bint Zubayr feared about the life of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she gave him back to his mother. Now the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is back with his mother. Now we all know that the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was almost about later, 1 year later, or 1 year later, or 1.5 years later, the mother of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam decided to go back to Medina to visit the grave of his father, to grave his father Abdullah with his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, and other two people, slave girl and all. She stayed there for 1 month, and while coming back, and on the place of Abwa, she actually died, and she died there. And that is the place between the Makkah and Medina, road to Makkah and Medina. And the uncle, the grandfather of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, took the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam back to Makkah. The Abdul Muttalib used to love him so much that he was one of the most preferred child, and he used to give him the title and he express his extra love and care for the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was not given to all the children of the family. He was given special status. Even he used to make him sit just next to him, where other children were not sitting in front of him were not sitting along with him. That's how the respect Abdul Muttalib gave to the Rasulullah sallam. But when he reached the age of 8 years and 2 months, the Abdul Muttalib also died. And then the uncle Abu Talib took the custody of the Rasulullah sallam, and now he started taking care of the Rasulullah sallam. So he was now under the custody of the Rasulullah Abu Talib. He gave him till his lifetime, till the Rasulullah sallam reached the age of 50. He supported him in all possible way and given the protection what was needed from all the enemies which were there in the Makkah. And he was one of the most staunchest supporter, you can say, of the Rasulullah sallam. In all the hard time, good times, he protected them against the enemies in the Makkah. Now when he was almost about 12, his uncle was going for a trade expedition to Syria. In between, before the Syria, they met a monk called Bahira, and when he saw the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he identified and he hosted them very well, and he identified that he is going to be a prophet, and he advised his uncle that kindly don't take him to the Syria, because if the Jews find him, they will kill him. So he advised very very clearly that kindly do send him back to Makkah. So the uncle of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Talib, asked how did he come to know, because he said that I saw the signs signs in him which I can very well recognize, and also there is the like a stamp of the Nabuwa on the back of his shoulder. That way I can see that. So with these symbols and the signs, he identified the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as the future prophet, and he advised him send him back to the Makkah. So the uncle sent him back to the Makkah. When he was 15, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was 15. At that time, he participated in the battle of Fujjar. He did not actively participate in that battle. That was the battle between the Quraysh and the Kinana, the Banu Kinana, the two tribes. They fought between each other. His role was confined to collecting the arrows of the enemies and giving it back to his uncle. So he used to collect the arrows and give it back to his uncle. That's how he participated. And when later on, he also one of the Al-Fudul confederacy happened in the Makkah. That happened in the home of the Abdullah bin Judan bin Taymi. Abdullah bin Judan bin Taymi, that happened. So he was one of the honorable person in the Makkah. Because that confederacy actually promised that whosoever who is living resident of Makkah or non-resident of Makkah, if he is oppressed or his wealth is snatched away or stolen away, we all will come together and will guarantee his rights in the Makkah. Actually happened one person happened like this, that one person wealth was actually taken by someone from the Makkah, and he went to the mountain, and he started shouting, crying that someone has taken my wealth. So all people actually gathered, and on that day actually promised that everybody will be helped and nobody rights will be oppressed. On this day, on this thing, the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that even in the Islam, even if in the Islam I am called for such kind of meetings, I will go for that meeting. I'll respond very positively to that meeting, even if I am called this day when he became prophet, because that was actually for the humanity. That is what Islam says, that it's not about the Muslim or Hindu or the Christian or Jew. It's about, sometimes it's always about humanity, because humanity is at the greater level. So the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam always respected the human being more than his faith and all, because the humanity comes before, and that because Islam also says that la ikraha fi din, there is no compulsion in the religion. If anybody is not accepting your faith, that's fine, but we can live together, we can help each other in a harmony. That's how the concept of coexistence will come in place. The concept of coexistence is a very important phenomena. Nowadays we see that for small petty things we start fighting between the Muslims also, leave about the religion. The religion is far beyond. That's how the tolerance needs to be built in ourselves, so that we tolerate each other's views, we tolerate each other customs, each other traditions within the Islamic period, definitely. And if we're not able to, we don't find it that to appropriate, we can definitely go and politely tell them not to fight with them. That's what, to create a mess out of it, that will create a fight between the two tribes, two communities. That's not good for actually entire humanity as a whole. We all can love to love each other, we all can love to learn to respect each other. That's how the humanity is all about, and what the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has taught us with this particular thing. Also, we know that in the early days, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not have any proper job. He used to be worked as a shepherd for the Bani Saad in the Makkah, and used to get a few penny out of that, and he used to earn his livelihood through that at the age of 25. Now we also know in the Makkah there was one woman called as the Khadija bint Khuwaylid, and she was one of the wealthiest women in the Makkah, and she used to give her money to the people, to the traders in the Makkah, to trade on her behalf, and she used to make the profit, to give her share of the profit to the person who used to go on the trade on her behalf. That is the concept of actually called the Mudaraba in Islam. Mudaraba, as we know, the Islamic concept that we can appoint a Mudarib, a manager who actually does the business on your behalf. One is the Rabbul Mal, and one is actually the Mudarib. A Mudarib is the manager who is only responsible for the profit and sharing. He may not contribute any kind of funding, but the Rabbul Mal will contribute the fund. That's the concept of the Islamic. So in society we can also establish that the investors, those who are there, the investors, they can invest their money with the young talent in the society, and they can actually give the money to the people, those who are those who are in the need or have the talent, has the skills to perform any kind of business, they can give their money to those people and remove the poverty of society, so that they can also stand on their own feet and let the others to also stand up on their own feet. So Mudareba was actually concept applied by Khadija bint Khuwailid. She heard about the features of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, attributes of Rasulullah, that he is very honest, kind, and very honest and kind person, and he does his job with the honesty. So she gave her money to the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took money and went for the trade purpose in Syria. And when he came, he used to come back, and that kept on happening, and she observed quite extra profit in his trade as compared to the trades done by other counterparts in the Makkah. So she actually observed good things, and she noticed that in the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and before that we all know that when the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was 25, unmarried, and Khadija was. Now we all know that Khadija bint Khuwailid, Rasulullah was almost 25, and she was almost 40 at that time, and she actually many people of the Makkah had proposed to her to get married with her, but she refused that proposal. Now the Khadija herself actually discussed this matter with her friend Nafisa and sent the proposal to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah was a very shy person, and he often said that I cannot take any decision, kindly go and consult my uncle. And with the consultation of his uncle, they both actually tied the knot. They both got married, and all children of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was from the Khadija in the Khuwailid, all the children, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not marry anyone till she was alive. And there was age difference of almost 15 years. 15 years age difference was there. Rasulullah was 25 and she was 40. How can a person of young age can marry a 40 years old woman? That was the characteristics of our Prophet, beloved Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those who point out the character must listen, must see at his point at about its attributes before pointing out or before telling anything about him. Kindly do research about things and what kind of person he was. And the Rasulullah got married. That's how Rasulullah settled his family. Now when he was 35, we all know the Kaaba was built by Ismail alayhi salam and his father Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now the Kaaba, there was a lot of floods and all. So the Kaaba, even the height of the Kaaba was not more than 6 feet. That's how. So that's become very 6.5 is not very not very high, almost about 6.3 meters, and the wall was also fallen. So all the tribes of the Quraysh, they decided to rebuild the Kaaba, and they decided that only legitimate money will be taken into consideration, and no illicit money will be taken for the construction of the Kaaba. And they started building the Kaaba. The work was divided among several groups for stoning, for plastering, everything. All the works for walling, all the works were divided among the different people of the was divided among the on the Kaaba, on the different people divided the work was divided among the different people, and that's how the work started. But now when the work started, actually at the end, one dispute arose that who will keep, everything was done, but now who will keep the Hajar Aswad in his right place. So all the tribes actually came to point that they will start fighting with each other. Now Abu Umayyah Makhzumi was one person actually who actually resolved the dispute by saying that whosoever will enter the sacred gate first, we will listen to his advice and will listen to his call. So the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the first one to enter the gate, and everybody said he is Amin al-Amin. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually now called the people for a mantle, a shawl. A shawl was taken and the Hajar Aswad was kept over there, and all the tribes actually took took the picked the corner of the shawl, the mantle from each side. Different tribes took it to the original position, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his own hands kept the Hajar Aswad in its right place. That's how the bloodshed was saved, and people actually very peacefully, very friendly resolved this particular dispute. This is how the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was actually dispute resolver, and he was a very kind person. As you can see that when he entered, people call him as the Alameen. This was the time actually the Rasulullah, now he was growing older, he was growing a bit older, 35 years already. Now he was not much liked, he did not like the practices prevailing in society, the adultery and the idol worshipping, the fornication, the looting and everything, the interest, riba and all such kind of practices. So he actually, he became very silent person. He was getting, he preferred to live in seclusion rather than actually living with the people. That's how actually situation prevailed in his life actually. And then slowly he actually he secluded himself in the cave of the Hira. That's how inshallah we'll see in the later part of this lecture. Inshallah. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.